See how your hand trembles? You are not made for this, Harry. It makes you forget that you're a gentleman. They are laughing at you. Come." "But I say, I have lost $90,000, said the boy, and there was wildness in his eye. "Let me alone, Paul." "I will repay you." "No. Let me alone." "Harry." "I say no." His mouth was drawn tight, and his eyes glared sullenly as those of a stubborn child. Clearly it was impossible to get him away without making a scene, which was unthinkable. For a moment I was at a complete loss. Then the croupier's voice sounded suddenly in my ear. "You are interrupting us, sir." I silenced him with a glance, and turned to my brother, having decided in an instant on the only possible course. "Here, let me have your chair. I will get it back for you. Come." He looked at me for a moment in hesitation, then rose without a word, and I took his place. The thing was tiresome enough, but how could I have avoided it? The blood that rushes to the head of the gambler is certainly not food for the intellect, and, besides, I was forced by circumstances into a heroic attitude, and nothing is more distasteful to a man of sense. But I had a task before me. If a man lays bricks, he should lay them well, and I do not deny that there was a stirring of my pulse as I sat down. Is it possible for a mind to directly influence the movements of a little ivory ball? I do not say yes, but will you say no? I watched the ball with the eye of an eagle, but without straining. I played with the precision of a man with an unerring system, though my selections were really made quite at random, and I handled my bets with the sureness and swift dexterity with which a chess master places his pawn or piece in position to demoralize his opponent. This told on the nerves of the croupier. Twice I corrected a miscalculation of his, and before I had played an hour his hand was trembling with agitation. And I won. The details would be tiresome, but I won. And when, after 6 hours of play without an instant's rest, I rose exhausted from my chair and handed my brother the amount he had lost, I pocketed a few thousands for myself in addition. There were some who tried to detain me with congratulations and expressions of admiration, but I shook them off and led Harry outside to my car. The chauffeur, poor devil, was completely stiff from the long wait, and I ordered him into the tonneau and took the wheel myself. Partly was this due to pity for the driver, partly to a desire to leave Harry to his own thoughts, which I knew must be somewhat turbulent. He was silent during the drive, which was not long, and I smiled to myself in the darkness of the early morning, as I heard, now and then, an uncontrollable sigh break through his dry lips. Of thankfulness, perhaps. I preceded him up the stoop and into the hall of the old house on Lower Fifth Avenue, near 10th Street, that had been the home of our grandfather and our father before us. There, in the dim light, I halted and turned, while Evans approached from the inner rooms, rubbing eyes heavy with sleep. Good old Evans! Yet the faithfulness of such a servant has its disadvantages. "Well," said Harry, in a thin, high voice. The boy's nerves were stretched tightly. 2 words from me would have produced an explosion. So I clapped him on the shoulder and sent him off to bed. He went sulkily, without looking around, and his shoulders drooped like those of an old man, but I reflected that that would all be changed after a few hours of sleep. "After all, he is a Lamar," I said to myself, as I ordered Evans to bring wine and sandwiches to the library. It was the middle of the following afternoon before Harry appeared downstairs. He had slept